You don't ignore sports because you're different. You ignore it because your brain won't fake meaning it didn't earn. And that is exactly why you feel out of place in rooms like that. The room spikes when the ball gets close to the goal. People stand up, shout, clap each other's shoulders. But you? You glance at your phone, then back at the screen. Nothing in your body follows what they're feeling. You try to stay engaged for a few seconds longer. Then your attention drops again. I should care more than this. Most people think this means something's missing in you. But what's actually happening is more specific than that. If you stay with me, you'll see exactly where that disconnect comes from and why it keeps showing up in the same kind of situations. If this feels familiar, just keep watching. Because this doesn't start at the party. It starts much earlier than that. You're at a party, and everyone's yelling at the TV. But you're already checking how long before you can leave. You stand near the edge, not fully inside the circle. The room spikes every time something happens on screen, but your eyes just drop to your phone between those spikes. Your brain isn't syncing with the group's emotional rhythm. It doesn't lock onto the same signals they're reacting to. So instead of rising with them, you stay flat. And that creates a distance you just can't fake. Why does this matter this much to them? The truth is, you're not in it. You checked out before anything even began. And that disconnection, it doesn't start at the party. For them, this isn't just a game. It's a tribe. They wear the same colors like it actually means something. They react in sync like one shared nervous system. Their brains release bonding signals the moment the team wins, and that shared reaction creates this intense sense of belonging. But your brain? It doesn't attach to symbolic groups that easily. You see the jersey, but you don't feel the identity behind it. So the emotional glue never forms. I don't feel like I'm part of this. Nothing clicks. The truth is, you can't force belonging your brain doesn't recognize. And even when something exciting happens, it still doesn't land. You realize that trying to fit in is actually more exhausting than standing alone. You're calculating every smile, every nod. You're running a simulation in your head just to look like you're enjoying the party. But the cost is a massive drain on your energy, while others are being recharged by the crowd you're being drained. You don't hate them. You're just exhausted from trying to care about things your brain naturally rejects. It's not being antisocial, it's psychological self-defense. How much longer do I have to keep this up? The mask is cracking. The truth is forcing. The feeling is exactly what's killing the joy. And that's when you start to wonder, is there something wrong with me? Then someone says, "We won," and something in you just pauses. They celebrate like they achieved something themselves. They repeat it like it belongs to them. But your brain? It tracks effort and ownership differently. You separate what you did from what you watched. So, the equation doesn't hold. You see the gap between the action and the reaction. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You didn't do anything. That's the moment. The truth is, you don't absorb outcomes you didn't earn. And that difference, it doesn't just isolate you. It sounds rational, but it costs you something. You don't join the celebration. You don't mirror the energy. So, you don't fully enter the group. Shared emotion is how most people connect quickly, and you're not participating in that exchange. That means fewer instant bonds, fewer moments where you feel, in sync, I don't belong here. This is the trade-off. The truth is, you don't get easy belonging. So your brain finds something else instead. So if it's not here, where does your connection go? You invest in conversations that actually matter. You care about problems that exist in your real life. Your brain, it prioritizes depth over shared illusion. That means fewer connections, but stronger ones. You don't attach easily, but when you do, it holds. If it matters, it has to be real. That's the difference. The truth is, you don't outsource meaning. And once you see that clearly, this was never about liking or not liking sports. It's about what your brain accepts as real enough to feel. You're someone who doesn't attach emotion without a personal stake. If it isn't real to you, it doesn't get to live inside you. Look at the last thing that actually moved you. Not entertained you, moved you. Write that down, because that is where your brain actually connects. If you want more breakdowns like this, you can stay here. The truth is, you weren't disconnected. You just didn't pretend.